Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Sam the Stoic. Today I want to talk about something deeply personal and important to me. My support for Israel, especially in light of the ongoing conflict it faces with groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. I know this is a sensitive topic, but I think it's crucial to share where I stand and why I stand there. First off, let me be clear. I stand with Israel not just because I support a particular government or a specific leader, but because I believe in the idea of Israel. I believe in the values that Israel represents, values that are important to me and should be important to anyone who supports freedom, democracy, and human rights. Israel is a country that, despite being constantly threatened, stands as a beacon of freedom in a region where that is often hard to come by. And that's why I support Israel's right to defend itself. When we talk about the conflict between Israel and Hamas or Hezbollah, we are not just talking about territory or borders. We are talking about a clash of ideologies. Hamas and Hezbollah are not just groups that have a political dispute with Israel. Their hatred goes much deeper. They don't simply want to live peacefully alongside Israel. They want Israel to disappear from the face of the earth. Their entire ideology is built around the destruction of Israel. And this isn't just rhetoric. They have consistently refused to recognize Israel's right to exist and have actively worked towards its destruction, whether through rocket attacks, terrorist attacks, or propaganda. This is not just a political conflict, it's an ideological war. On one side, you have Israel, a nation that represents freedom, democracy, and the protection of human rights. On the other side, you have organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah, whose very existence is rooted in hatred. Hatred of Jews, hatred of the idea of Israel, and hatred of a country that stands for something they cannot accept. The heart of this conflict, as I see it, is not just about land or politics, it's about values. Israel embodies the values of the West. It stands for freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to be who you are, and to love who you love. In Israel, you can be Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or atheist, and still live freely without fear of persecution. You can be gay, straight, or anything in between, and still have the same rights as anyone else. That's the kind of society I support. But organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah don't share these values. They operate under an extreme ideology that leaves no room for coexistence, for diversity, or for freedom. Their worldview is rooted in a rigid interpretation of Islam that opposes everything that Israel stands for. This isn't about Palestinians versus Israelis. It's about freedom versus oppression. It's about the future of a region that could embrace democracy and progress, versus one that clings to hatred and destruction. Now, I want to talk about why I personally admire Israel. Israel is more than just a nation. It's a symbol of perseverance and survival. In the face of overwhelming odds, Israel has not only survived but thrived. It is a country that has developed one of the most innovative economies in the world. It is a leader in technology, medicine, and science. But beyond that, it has managed to maintain a vibrant democracy in a region where authoritarian regimes are the norm. One of the things I respect the most about Israel is its commitment to freedom. Freedom of religion, freedom of expression, and freedom to live your life as you see fit. In Israel, people of different faiths, Jews, Muslims, Christians, live together in a society that guarantees their rights to worship as they please. You have women's rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and the rule of law. These are the values of a modern, progressive society, and they are values I believe in deeply. Compare that with what Hamas and Hezbollah stand for. In areas controlled by these groups, there is no freedom of speech, no freedom of religion, and no protection for the rights of women or the LGBTQ+ community. In their world, if you don't follow their strict interpretation of Islam, you are a target. If you're gay, you're at risk of being persecuted or worse. If you're a woman, your rights are severely limited. This is the kind of future they envision not just for the Palestinians, but for the entire region. And that's something I cannot support. What's at stake here is not just Israel's survival. What's at stake is the future of a region that could either embrace peace, democracy, and progress, or be consumed by hatred, violence, and oppression. And let's be clear, Israel is not the aggressor in this conflict. Israel has repeatedly offered peace, offered negotiations, and offered solutions that would allow for a two-state solution, where Israelis and Palestinians could live side by side in peace. But Hamas and Hezbollah have consistently rejected these offers. Why? Because they don't want peace. They want Israel to be wiped off the map. They want a future where Israel does not exist, where Jews are driven out of the region, and where their radical ideology reigns supreme. That's why Israel defends itself, and that's why I support Israel's right to defend itself. In closing, I want to make something clear. Supporting Israel doesn't mean you can't have empathy for the Palestinians. I fully recognize the suffering of the Palestinian people, many of whom are caught in the middle of this conflict. They deserve peace just as the Israelis do. But that peace can only come when groups like Hamas and Hezbollah stop using them as pawns in their war against Israel. The true enemy of peace isn't Israel. It's the ideology that refuses to accept Israel's right to exist. I support Israel because I support freedom. I support Israel because I support human rights. I support Israel because I believe in the values that it stands for. And I hope that one day the people of Gaza, the West Bank, and the entire region can experience the same freedoms that Israel's citizens enjoy. But that will only happen when we defeat the ideologies of hatred and extremism that are driving this conflict. Thanks for listening, everyone. I know this is a tough and emotional topic, and not everyone will agree with me, but I think it's important to have these conversations. If you want to hear more about topics like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the discussion going. Until next time, stay strong, stay thoughtful, and stay stoic.